In today's lesson, my topic of discussion is on generation of electrical power. In this lesson, I will be discussing about the overall brief idea and the methodology of electrical power generation from different sources of non-electrical energy. At first, we need to know what is the power system. Electrical power system is a network of electrical component deployed to supply, transfer and use of electrical powers. That means the whole electrical network in between the generating station to our load point is called the power system. So the whole power system networks are classified into 3 stages, whereas the first stage is called the power generation. Now let me tell you something about the electrical power generation. Actually the process is called conversion, but generally we call them the power generation, because according to the law of energy we know any energy neither be generated nor be destroyed. So we just try to convert one type of energy into other type of energy. So actually the electrical engineers, there are 2 types of energy sources in nature. One is the electrical energy source, and other than electrical energy source is called the non-electrical energy source. So we always try to convert any type of non-electrical energy into electrical energy. Generally, non-electrical energy sources are 2 types. First one is the conventional energy source, and second one is the non-conventional energy source or renewable energy source. Now what is the conventional energy source? When we cannot reuse a source of energy after using it once, then we call them conventional or non-renewable energy source. The example of conventional energy sources are petroleum, nuclear energy, natural gas, etc. There are some advantages of conventional energy sources. Like, this type of energy sources are easy to access. The efficiency of energy sources are very high. The conventional energy sources are known as the well-known source. Next advantage is that the production expenses are low, and some disadvantages are also present in conventional energy source, like mining coal, searching for oil, or different types of drilling or piping for extract the natural gas from nature. All are the time consuming process. Next disadvantage is that non-renewable energy sources like fossil fuel can be emit carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. Thus it is dangerous to the human and can cause different types of respiratory problems. Next point, burning of the fossil fuel produce the oxides, which causes the rain of acid. This is very harmful to the wildlife and also the building constructions. Next point, burning coal, oil, natural gas releases large amount of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, which are major contributes to the global warming system. Because they are definitions, they are non-renewable, so this type of energy sources will eventually run out. That means humans will not be able to base our lives on this type of energy sources. Next point, during burning, some unwanted product will be generated by this type of energy sources, like different types of gases, ash, etc. So this type of sources are quite dirty. Now different types of the application of different types of conventional energy sources. First is the coal. Coal generally used in case of the coal-fired steam power plant. This plant, the main raw material of this power plant is the coal, and the product of is the steam. So A coal-fired power station works on the principle that heat is released by the burning coal, which is collected from the nearest coal mines of the power plants. Then this heat is produced to the steam from water inside the turbine. In this case, the water is used as the working fluid. Superheater convert the normal steam to the superheated steam. The flow rate of superheated steam is very high compared to the normal steam. The kinetic energy of the superheated steam runs the turbines. Then the kinetic energy of the steam is converted into the mechanical energy inside the turbine. Here the turbine acts as a motor, and the turbine is coupled with the alternator or AC generator, which produce the electrical energy. And then this energy is directly connected with the transformer to create the proper transmission voltage. Next part is the hydroelectric power station. Hydroelectric power plant capture the kinetic energy of the falling water from the dam or reservoir to generate the electricity. A turbine converts the kinetic energy to the falling water into the mechanical energy, and the turbine is coupled with the generator shaft. Then the generator converts the mechanical energy from the turbine into the electrical energy. The wastage water then passing through a channel which is called the tail raise. This water is utilized for irrigation purposes. An automatic connected valve is placed inside the valve house, and it always controls the water flow of the power station. And we already know that the water is the main input of this type of power plant. So the valve is also control the power generation as per the requirement of the consumers. There is also a vital part which is called the surge tank. A surge tank is also provided just before the valve house for better regulation of water in this system. The next conventional energy sources are nuclear energy, and nuclear energy is generally used in nuclear power plant. Now, what is nuclear power plant? An atomic or nuclear power plant is a setup for providing the controlled the release of the automatic energy to produce the useful electrical energy. This plant is very much similar to the steam power plant, in which the boiler is replaced by the nuclear reactor. So here the boiler is here the function of the nuclear reactor is just similar to the boiler. In a nuclear reactor, energy is released from the fission of the heavy atoms or nuclear materials like uranium, thorium, etc. Neutrons collide with uranium atoms, splitting them. This splitted release neutrons from the uranium, that is the turn to collide the other atoms, causing the chain reaction. And chain reaction is the vital part of this reaction. The chain reaction is controlled with the help of control rod, which is placed inside the plant, and this absorbs the neutrons also. The heat produced in the nuclear reactor by the fusion process. This heated liquid carries the heat and heat exchanger, in which the water is converted into the steam generally. And next part is the similar to the power plant. The steam strikes the blade of the turbine, and here turbine is also act as a motor like thermal power plant. Then the turbine rotates and develop the mechanical energy, and the turbine is coupled with the generator or alternator, in which the mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. Now, the non-conventional energy sources. Energy generated by using wind, solar, geothermal heat and biomass, including the animal wastage, are known as the non-conventional or renewable energy sources. When the energy sources is called the renewable, that is a big question. The answer is that there are some points regarding renewable energy. First point, when the source cannot be run out like sun, or can easy to be replaced, then this type of energy is called renewable energy. On the other hand, when their when the sources are carbon neutral, that means they do not produce carbon combustion such as different types of greenhouse gases, etc. Next point, when they do not pollute the environment like air pollution, land pollution, or water pollution, then this type of energy sources are called renewable energy or non-conventional energy sources. Now, there are some advantages of renewable energy source or non-conventional energy source. First point, the energy sources are inexhaustible. Next point, the power plant using renewable source of energy do not have any fuel cost and hence their running cost is negligible. Next point, the renewable source have low energy density. There is more or less or no pollution in this type of energy sources. Next point, these energy sources can help to save the exchange or generation of local employment. Next point, the renewable energy plants are more site specific and are installed for a specific location where the power is directly required. Now the limitations of renewable energy source. First point, due to the low energy density of the renewable energy sources, large size plants are required as the cost of the investment is very high compared to the other plant. Next point, these energy sources are intermittent and also lack of dependency. Next point, the user of this source of energy has make huge additional investment cost before he takes some benefit from it. Next point, the energy sources due to their low energy density have low operating temperature leading to low efficiency. Next point, due to low operating efficiency, heat rejections are large which causes thermal pollution of the surrounding areas.